Hey, this is Robin coming at you for Secure Mindset. Thank you for listening in again. Today's topic, know your worth as a protection professional. So again, thank you for listening in. Welcome to Secure Mindset, the environment for protection professionals where we think before we protect. Protection, rescue, and lifestyle. Now, of course, the topic for today is going to be know your worth, as discussed in the intro. Now, what do I mean with know your worth as a protection professional? Now, we do have something going on lately called the pandemic, honey badger virus, coronavirus. No matter how you want to talk about it, it's there. And there are a lot of businesses going out of business, don't having a lot of business anymore. And a lot of protection professionals out of work because they did not comply with standards or did not have the training or did have the training, but the company failed. Also, in my country, in the Netherlands, it will be probably the same across the industry, I guess, that a lot of independent security contractors are working below their means and their value, and they're putting out like prices that are ridiculously low, especially for the standards that we have right now. And there are some really good protection professionals out there and if you are one, you probably know what I'm talking about. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, then there might be a chance that you're working under your value. We do dangerous work as protection professionals. We are in the front lines, especially in these times. We are screening people. We are keeping watch. We are separating the lines and applying common laws. But we get underpaid for it at times. And also coming into personal protection, what I mean with know your worth. A lot of the security industry is underpaid. And I get it, there is a good reason for that at times, because a lot of protection professionals, especially security guards, are extremely lazy. And like if you put the effort in there, you'll be paid what you're worth. So if you don't study and listen to, like, you already had, if you don't listen to these podcasts or other podcasts like God of Fighting Secrets or try to develop yourself, then you are not getting ahead. But if you do have the training, you do have the mindset, you keep putting in the effort, like, you need to know your worth. I had some contracts that were from other security companies that eventually were below my worth in monetary values. Because as you gain in experience in the security industry, you gain in new insights, you gain new knowledge, you gain new people, you gain new connections. And all of that together determines your worth as a protection professional. Combine that with your mindset, of course, and your intention to keep developing, as one of the code of ethics from the IFPO says. And somewhere, somehow, I see a lot of protection professionals getting underpaid because they are not standing up or scared to leave a job site or a contract because they are scared of not getting paid at all. I sort of understand that, but not at all, because there is always something out there, and when you don't get paid at all, it sounds you need to be creative, and some of protection professionals might be in a position right now that they are not getting paid because of current circumstances. But once this settles, and you need to demand some points, like, I am developing, I know new insights, I know new training, and I've been developing on myself. Let's go sit down. I know my worth. Don't say it in that way, because you'll push some buttons on some employers, and on some employees as well. Don't forget that. So you want to approach it with that a little bit more tactical. Or tactical, just in the way that you like to, or whatever your style is. But before you do that, indeed, like we mentioned, increase your knowledge, your net worth, your network. So I really liked what Grant Cardone said. Increase your net work, so you increase your net worth. And I wanted to add to that, like I mentioned, experience. And the depth and the want and the need to learn more and more and more and more every day. But like I mentioned, you're one step ahead already because you're listening to this podcast. Probably when you're on shift or something like that. So when you do that, and you are still working for a contract that underpays your worth as a protection professional, so you did the time, you got the knowledge, you got the experience, you got the motivation, you got the right mindset, you got good connections, you got a good network, then, and you're still on an underpaid job or contract or client, why are you still there? Because you're scared of losing that? What, already is not paying you well? Well, I suggest if you have some backing that you put that time into finding a client or a contract that pays you better, or a job site, or an employer, whatever you suit your needs in the security industry or protection professional. Because you're worth a lot. You're worth a lot. I mean, if you're listening to this, I mean, then you're probably already ahead of, like, a lot of the rest of the industry. Because, to my knowledge as well, and it's a bad image, and it's a bad image that especially the private security industry has problems with. But the problem is, like, stereotypes, they are true. At least, I see a lot of private security guards sitting there and not educating themselves, or like doing double jobs at the same time. If you can't do anything other inside, and it's just a sit down site where you basically can't do anything at all, and it's basically being told, like, you can't do anything at all, like, you can waste your time on watching movies. Well, like, some of you are already choosing, like, hey, there's this crazy podcast, maybe I should listen to it. Hey, there's this crazy book I heard of, maybe I should read it. Is there other ways to get a financial gain? Is there other ways to gain more knowledge? By, for example, increasing your network by talking to somebody and making friends with them, and especially other law enforcement officers and other protection professionals are really amazing if you are able to network. But also, we have the amazing ability to go basically everywhere, especially in the private security industry. We are being placed near artists, like some of the greatest minds in the world. We are protecting, at least I know I've been to some events where I've been to, like, standing to the greatest artists in the world, for example, with Intentation, or yeah, don't mind. But if you are with that, grab your chance, but know how to do that. Alright, let's get back on topic, because I was getting a little bit sidetracked there. Your net worth increase is because indeed network, training, everything that we said before. Combining that grabbing the chances of working with some of the most brilliant and talented people in the world. Yeah, if you're not gaining any knowledge from that, then yeah, I can't help you. And as well, like, if you are not helping yourself to develop and increasing your network, and you're doing nothing about it to show it to others, basically, not in a selfish way, like being actually of value to others, then it's your own fault. You're doing it to yourself, and there's nothing in the world that I can help or do. Or as well, if you're not listening to the words that I'm telling you, and you do nothing with, like, just click off the podcast and I'm done, and not taking action, then you just wasted your time on this podcast, and you could be rather doing something else. And that's basically the same with watching movies. Like, for fuck's sake, if you don't like that, and go watch a movie then. Because I don't even want you on a podcast for like that. On this podcast, there are people who want to develop themselves. And that's the only people that I want on here. That's the only people that I want on here. So I got sidetracked again. Okay. So, also, with knowing your worth, is that you need to know and stand up for your safety as well. There are a lot of protection professionals that are not getting masks, for example, or don't get gloves or anything like that, or not even allowed to wear them on site. Then you need to stand up for that and say, I'm not doing that. Because that is worth to yourself as well. If I'm not allowed to protect myself, as is, to me, very, very first thing that you learn in first aid as well. If you get hurt yourself, how the hell can you help someone else who's hurt? So protect yourself. Like, basically, that's the first thing we learn here in the Netherlands. Rule number 1, officer safety. Know your thing. Know your worth. Know your help yourself first. Well, that. So, yeah. If you're still complaining about that $13 or €13 per hour job site, or complaining about that €25 per hour client, and you want to be better, then do something about it. Specialize and gain knowledge, and actually put in the effort to learn sales and marketing and like high value skills. And there are a lot of great mentors out there that are far better and greater than me than learning those skills. Maybe I will cover them sometimes, and if you listen to my podcast properly, there will be some high level income skills, knowledge, and insights as well. Yet, there are far better people out there, like Jason Capital, that can teach you this stuff, or Grant Cardone, or Dan Pena. Alright, so I went a little bit on a rant here. Just a little bit. And I do want to thank you again for listening to this crazy guy behind the microphone that's basically talking to himself. So, thank you for that, crazy one. And I do want to end with that. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square hole, the ones who see things differently. They are not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, you can disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who think they are crazy enough to change the world are the ones who do. Steve Jobs. Thank you for listening. Secure Mindset. Protection, rescue, and lifestyle. And don't forget to think before you protect. This is Robin. I'm out. Cheers.